I am on location today here. I am with my new best friend, Jason Hansen. He is the owner of a company that does a lot of work. What kind of stuff do you guys do?
Primarily lot clearing, logging, low quality logging, a lot of chipping. Right here we have a load of bolts going for firewood.
Oh yeah? Bolts for firewood, nice. You can take that to my place. That's the stuff that's nice in the processor.
Yep. We're doing, on this project here, we're clearing actually for a railroad right-of-way. They're going to be putting five spurs in this area.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of track. You guys are clearing almost, how many acres did you say total?
About 7.5 acres roughly.
Yeah. And you got a ways to go, I see here. So yeah, we're going to walk around now. You guys do a lot of, like I say, lot clearing. So you do a lot of the jobs that loggers don't want and jobs that tree service guys can't do.
Correct.
Because you're grinding a lot of it up, shipping a lot of it, right?
Yep. Sometimes we grind up more. We'll grind it just to get rid of it versus there's not enough for a semi load.
Right.
And when we send it for biomass, it doesn't matter what it is,
right,
whether it's cottonwood, pine, dead ash.
Because all wood burns.
All wood burns, yes.
Yeah, and for biomass, it doesn't matter at all. So that's good that you're getting use out of it. And you said a lot of it you're sending to a place that's a ways away, but you got a market for it, and you can make money on it. So you said sometimes you make better money on that than even pulpwood.
Yes.
So
depending upon where the job is, where it's located, it's awesome. A lot easier to. Sometimes it's just easier to chip it and not have to sort 2 cords of this and 5 cords of that.
Right. So on this job here, some of it is going, like I said, for firewood. You're pulling out good stuff. I see you got some logs over there. You got a little bit of everything in a job like this, right?
Yep. Yeah. This is actually is a pretty good sized job, but the quality of the logs
not so good.
is terrible.
Yeah. Well, the woods is over here. We're going to walk around and show you everything. And I brought my truck and trailer because he's got some white oak in here that you need to get rid of, right?
Yep. Yeah, it's hard on the chipper.
Yeah. Now, how big of stuff can you chip?
We can chip about 24 to 26 inch, depending upon what kind of wood it is.
That is huge. And white oak's tough on it.
White oak is hard on the chipper.
What about red oak? Not as much?
Red oak, if it's green, it's okay. White oak, just because of the fiber of it, and because it grows so slow, the density of it, it makes the chipper bark a little.
What about hickory?
I have not ground up any hickory.
Yeah, you don't want to. Hickory's good stuff. That you shouldn't grind. Well, let's look around here a little bit. So we'll show you guys kind of what this job consists of. So yeah, they're putting a whole new. So where we're standing is eventually going to be a railroad spurs, I'm guessing,
correct.
Right?
Yep. They'll be.
Look at the size of these
4 sets of tracks.
So those bins are how big did you say?
Right around 1.5 million bushel.
So if you see that little bit of telehandler over there, that loader, how small it is next to it, and that crane over there, those are some big bins. Big bins. And look at their propane tank. Holy smokes.
That's a 4-inch line that feeds that propane tank.
Jeez. So let's look at the wood here and your job you're doing. So you said you got a little bit of everything in here. You've got ash, you've got some maple, oak. What else you got in here?
Ash, maple, oak. That's primarily what this consists of is. And then there's some low quality type stuff. And then there's some basswood too.
Oh yeah.
There's some basswood.
So this is your machine right here, this deer? Yep. Nice. And I see you got some tracks on because it's a little swampy.
It's a little muddy, yes.
Yes. Yeah. Well, if the railroad's coming in, I imagine they got it all set up so they know right where everything's going to go. But yeah, there's some basswood in there on the bottom I see there.
Yep.
Yep. Looks like a lot of ash, though, which is good that you're taking it because that's not going to last that long anyway because it's coming this direction.
Yeah, most of it you can see down on the far end there is all dead already.
This is all basswood here, isn't it?
Yep, this is all basswood bolts. That'll end up going for firewood too.
Really?
Yep.
Yeah, that's some nice straight stuff. Yeah. Not a bad deal. So who are you selling to primarily for your wood? Where do you go with it? Wherever there's a market, or? Yeah,
wherever there's a market. A lot of the bolts, because we're so close to Seymour, it's going over to Performance.
Oh yeah.
Logs are going to Algoma Lumber.
Do they use basswood for making pallets at all?
This stuff, the stuff that goes to Seymour all goes into firewood.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I see a lot of basswood and firewood.
Yep, they do send some up north to up to their mill in Kearney.
Yeah. So now over by your processor over there, is that going to be a hand-cut oak? That looks like
yeah, pretty much all the trees that are
the big ones
that are standing yet, other than these ones that were on the corner, are all going to be hand cut.
How long you been on this job?
About 2 weeks.
And how much more do you think you got to go?
Hopefully another week we'll be out of here, depending upon how much it rains.
Oh yeah, we've been getting a lot of rain this year. That's slowed everybody down with woods work. I mean, there's been a couple guys I was supposed to be doing videos with, and they just, every time it rains, like, yeah, we're not working, or we're moving.
Yep.
That kind of thing.
Yep.
Very interesting. Well, tell me about your machines. You've got your forwarder here, and you said this is it's an older machine, but it works good for you.
Yeah. It's this one's got, I don't know, 26,000 hours on it.
That's getting broke in.
We put a motor in it at about 3,000 hours ago. It's been a rock solid machine for us. Other than it's got a few hydraulic leaks, nothing major.
Yeah, that happens.
But
that happens. And then your machine down there, is that a Deere also? I didn't even look to see what it was.
No, that's a 550 Caterpillar.
Oh, it's a Caterpillar.
They only made 6 of those.
Really? And why only 6?
They got in the market early enough with rubber tired. This way, Chris.
Is this the best way to go?
It might have dried up some.
Yeah, it dried up a little.
It dried up a lot.
Yeah.
Since yesterday.
Yeah.
A ton.
That's got some firewood in it.
Yeah, that's got some firewood. That's got some volume, some board footage volume.
Yeah. So then, will this go for some lumber, or what's going to happen with it?
Hopefully, when I get it on the ground, yeah, a lot of it'll be. We might get one grade log out of it, and then the rest will be ties.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Do you do anything with the branches at all, because they're pretty big, or too crooked, or?
I might try and run some of it for firewood, but otherwise most of it is gonna go right through the chipper.
Yeah. Give you an idea. You hang on to this and give you guys an idea how big this tree is here. This is probably, what would you say? It's got to be 40 inches.
Oh yeah.
Ish.
Yeah, it's gonna be close. The
yeah, that's a dandy.
That's
a dandy.
The buyer was out here this morning, actually.
Oh yeah.
And he said if we trim that one up nice, he says we'll take it, as long as it's sound in the.
Yeah, because
as long as it's sound in the butt.
Could be hollow, you never know, but it looks healthy.
Yeah.
When you look up to the top, it looks really good. Yeah, it's just a shame these white oaks. They're nice trees. So yeah, you're gonna hand cut all these bigger ones, and then the smaller stuff over here, this basswood stuff, you'll cut that down. And
yeah, this will just we'll push that over with the. We just had trucks in the way the other day, so I didn't. In case I lose one, I didn't want it to end up on the truck.
No, are you just dropping the stuff, hand cutting the bigger ones, just drop them, then you come back later and process them, or how are you doing it?
I'll hand cut them, and then I'll take out the logs.
Yep.
To a point where I can move it around with the harvester. Mm-hmm. That one over there is already, that's sitting there waiting for the harvester now.
Oh yeah. Yeah. And you're running all 395 Husqvarnas, you said, right? That's your saw of choice.
395, 372s.
Yeah.
I got a couple extras on the shelf.
Yeah. You said we were talking that they're gonna be discontinuing the 395, and he said he called this guy up and said, "How many do you got? I want them."
Yep.
Yeah, they're nice saws. But the replacement, the 592, you'll like them once you get one. There's nothing wrong with any of them. They all work really good. Have you ever tried any other saws, or just always Husqvarna?
I had one steel when I was about 16, and didn't like it, and I've never gone back.
Yeah. I think you get used to something. That's kind of what you stick with. Most everybody, same as vehicles. If you drive a certain vehicle, you get used to it. You know everything works. You like it. You know what's wrong, what's right. And I think it's habit more than anything. Mm-hmm. A lot of people are brand loyal, and I'm not really that guy. To me, if it works, it works. I don't care. It doesn't matter. Like I say, my favorite chainsaw is the one that runs good and is sharp.
Yep.
I don't care.
Yep. I've ran a 500i a couple times.
Yeah.
It almost makes me want a 500i.
They're fast. Yeah, they're nice saws. They're thirsty though. They like to drink.
Yep.
But yeah.
So hear that?
Saws.
Hear that noise?
Cicada.
Yep. Yeah. There's also the beetle.
Oh, okay.
Makes a very similar noise to that.
So you said you were going to show me some trees. You got some down there we can take a look at that are...
Yeah.
Let's go take a look at those.
Take a look at the log pile.
So what size are these cut to that you got here, these longer ones? You got 14s or 12s, or what do you got?
12s, 14s, 16s.
Yeah, just whatever size it made sense.
Yep. So, yeah, pick any of these. This is... That's not a good one. This one here. So this here is all, this is beetle borer, this is beetle borer. Comes all the way through. They actually suck the sap out, which pushes the sap to the outside where it no longer, every time somebody wants
dying on the outside.
No, this is, the white wood is actually
still good.
Is still good.
Dead on the inside, yeah. And this is soft maple, right?
Yep, that's soft maple.
Silver or red?
Red maple.
Red, yeah.
Yep. So yeah, you see
this
one here, this one here.
So it makes it no good for lumber or anything then, huh?
Right. Yeah. I mean, up there you can see where it's starting to die already.
Oh yeah, that's definitely dying. It's kind of a neat pattern, kind of when you look at it. But does it get soft? Is what happens? It gets softer and softer, so that the hardness of the wood goes away. Not because it's soft, but and then you can't really do anything because it won't hold it together, right? When you cut it.
Yes. Yep.
And this is a healthy one here, right?
That one's not too bad. You could see, the hardwood exploded. Typically, if you look at like this one here, it's got just a little bit of bore marks in it, but this nice, the center here is typically what you're looking for in maple is a real small heartwood, and then all the white wood on the outside.
Right. I know up in the UP they got real small heartwood. I see a lot of the logs from coming up from the UP, and they got little bitty hearts, whereas you go like northern Wisconsin, the hearts are way bigger.
Right.
Yeah, nice. This is a good one here, huh?
Yep, that's a chunk of white oak.
That's a white oak, yeah.
Yeah, that's probably, I think that one we cut 12 foot.
Yeah, that's a good one there.
But, yeah, you can see some of the bigger stuff. It's just a shame that it's...
yeah, I mean, it's a nice log, size-wise, but you can see how ruined it is here.
Yep. And about the only thing now they'll make out of that is railroad ties and pallet wood.
Yeah, or firewood.
Yep, or firewood.
Yep. Yeah, that's a shame. And is it something that's spreading fast? It's gonna kill a lot of them off, or?
Yeah, it's spreading fairly quick, just like the ash borer is.
Jeez, and we got oak wilt, and then there's the beetles on the spruce, and
the spruce bug, the oak wilt, the ash borer, the Colombian beetle. But the only thing we have left is basswood that
is healthy.
That's healthy.
Yeah, but those rot pretty easily.
And those rot, and those are a soft wood, and they rot real fast.
Is anything hurting the white oak?
As far as I know, no.
Because they're red and black, which black oak is a member of the red oak family, right?
Black oak, sand oak, a lot of guys would call it.
Yeah, or pin oak, that kind of stuff is. That stuff's really being affected by the oak wilt, but that spreads really slow. I notice it's not fast. Whereas the ash is just like a raging fire. It's just amazing how fast it's killing stuff off.
The oak wilt is in the ground. So the oak wilt spreads with the contact between the root system.
And somebody says it's if you cut the tree and there's a spot too, the bugs can get into that.
Yep.
Apparently.
Yep. If you cut it.
But it's not a bug. It's a fungus, though, isn't it?
Yes, it's a fungus. But if you cut the tree and a bug lands on that sap,
goes to another one.
Goes to another open wound on another tree. That's how it will.
Kind of like a venereal disease.
Yes.
Stay away from the fluids. Oh, very interesting. Well, let's walk down and take a look at the other end there.
All right.
So yeah, we're walking by the bins here going down to the other end of the job, and you guys can see how big these grain bins are. You can see the size of that crane. It's the size of a semi, and he's not even very high there. And they're building up on these things, but yeah, they're just absolutely huge. A little bit of money involved in this. So here's a little bit of a brush pile. This is just your tops that you're going to run through your chipper.
Yep.
And this is your chipper here, and this is the The one that you can do like 26 inches, you said?
Correct.
Yeah, that's massive. So it's a little loud when it's running?
Oh yeah.
She barks. How big of an engine you got on it?
It's 525 horse.
525 horsepower. Yeah, I would imagine she makes some noise. So you can even run whole trees through here if you want. That'd be kind of cool to see a whole tree go through.
Yep.
You ever get your chute plugged being so narrow like that, or not so much?
No.
It's got enough force, it just pushes it out.
Yep. Once in a while, if we get real dull knives, you'll get the material will get stringy.
Oh yeah.
And then like right now, we got to change knives before we start running again.
So then this just gets shipped right into this trailer.
Yep.
And then it's got a top on it that comes over the top, right?
Yep, there's a tarp. Yep. The tarp is up in the front there.
And then how do you close the back off? Oh, you got doors.
Yep, then there's doors on the back.
And how much weight can you get in here that you fits when you're chipping?
We put about 35, 37 tons. Depends where we're coming from.
And this can go north of here.
Yep, we're going north of, we go north up to Quinnipiac.
Yeah. So you're saying you get a permit so you can go through Wisconsin overloaded.
Correct.
Because you can get up to the northern part of Wisconsin, which has the UP regulations, which is more weight.
Correct. It's based on axles.
Right, a number of
and
axles.
that's why we bought this trailer, because we can, when we're empty, we leave the 2 lift axles up.
Right.
When we're loaded, we can put 1 down or 2 down, depending upon what we got for weight.
Right.
And the truck has got a scale on it.
Oh, so you know exactly what you got.
We know we're within 500 pounds when we pull out of a job. We know exactly what we weigh.
What does the DOT give you for leeway? Like 100?
About, depends which DOT officer it is. Right around 1,000 pounds typically.
Oh, okay.
They figure 1,000 pounds for fuel.
So yeah, so you're gonna chip all this. How long will this pile take you to ship up here?
Just over an hour.
An hour to do all that?
An hour, maybe hour and 25 minutes with good knives.
I thought you were gonna say like a half a day.
Oh no, no.
Holy smokes. So what do you feed it with?
We'll feed it with the forwarder.
Oh, okay.
I'll park that's why we got this lane between the chipper and the forwarder.
So you can bring it all over here, yeah.
Yep, yeah, so I'll park the forwarder right here and just swing it over and drop and throw it in.
Man.
And all the basswood pulp, there is no market for it, so that goes right through the chipper.
Yeah. Yeah, that could be firewood too. That's what I was just saying, that a lot of guys look at us and think, man, there's a lot of firewood in there, but yeah, it's just to get it out, the amount of work it would take. If you could lay them down one at a time, spread them out, and work on your stuff as you're cutting it, you could probably get a lot of firewood out of it, but it just isn't worth the time for you at all.
No.
And for the average guy, it's not really worth the time either. So, wow, yeah, that's a bunch. An hour, that's just amazing. And then Van Hals is hauling away all the stumps too, and they rip them out and everything.
Yep,
so,
they pull them out.
And this eventually is going to all be leveled off and then graveled, and the spurs will come in here, right?
There'll be a spur here. There'll be a section of green space there. And then where that pile of clay is, that's a track that'll run all the way over to
the other bins.
Where the other bins are, yep.
Yeah, those bins, we didn't even talk about those down there. Those are the old ones, right? Because this is all new.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yep, this is all within the last year.
Yeah, this is just amazing. And there's enough farms around here to fill those. Yes. That's what's amazing. Is you see a lot of the trucks going by, the hoppers that got the auger where they just dump it out the bottom. They drive over, dump it, and go get another one.
Yep.
That's what you see a lot of. And is a lot of this going to be, do they say anything? Is it going to be ethanol? Is it going to be feed? Is it going to be?
It's a combination of both. Okay. A lot of it is based on the ethanol market.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, I don't know if you guys can see in the cameras, those guys up there, how big those are. And there's guys up there working up on the platform up there. Yeah, that is amazing.
They're putting up the cross section too.
Yeah.
They're putting up the other conveyor cross section coming.
Oh yeah, it's coming up right now. I see it. Yeah, they got a nice calm day. There's almost very little wind today, so it's probably a good day to lift.
Yep.
If not, we're going to see it go down. Yeah, you can see it starting to be lifted up there. Yeah, and that's right at the top of the crane limit there as far as how high it'll go. Now he's going to swing, I bet. There, he's starting to move. Yeah, that's pretty amazing. Yeah, I suppose they like to work early in the morning when the wind's down to nothing.
Yeah, oh yeah, yeah. Those guys are here at 5:45, 5:30, 5:45 when I get down here some days. And
yeah, they're swinging over real slow.
I know those guys are working 12 hours a day, 7 days a week they've been working.
Yeah, well, that's good. It's good. Work is good for a guy. The other thing we didn't talk about at all yet, a lot of the wood that you cut on jobs like this, you're either selling it for lumber, you're selling it for pulpwood, you're selling the chips, so you got that going. And then you sell some mulch yourself, but then you also started doing firewood. Yep,
I did. I've always played around in the firewood market for quite some time.
Yeah.
So, over the years, it's grown to a firewood processor, a Dyna firewood processor. We just bought an Easton made.
Yeah. A 1222, you said.
Yep, a 1222.
And you're liking that?
I love it.
Yeah, it's a good machine.
So we do probably 250, 300 full cords a year.
Yeah, that's more than I do. That's a bunch of wood. So, and you're selling a little bit of everything. You're selling boiler people wood.
Yep.
You're selling just enjoyment wood like I do. I call it drinking wood. Yeah. Backyard pits and fireplaces. So you're selling, you got some stands.
Yep, we got 2 roadside stands. We do bundles. We have about a half a dozen bundle locations.
Oh, nice.
And then we do some restaurants as well.
Oh, cool. So yeah, you're doing a little bit of
3-4 restaurants.
And so you guys know where he's at. Right now, we're just north of Appleton, where I live, my area, what, 20 minutes or so?
Yeah.
And then you're to the east another half an hour, north of Green Bay.
Yep.
So we don't overlap all that much. But everybody says, like, you know, all these firewood people, and you're showing them all your stuff and talking to them and letting them come to your wood yard. There's so much business out there. There's no way. We're not even, it's just not a big deal.
I used to worry about, well, that guy down the road selling it cheaper than I am.
Yeah, don't worry about that.
And until you don't run out of firewood, that's when you got to ask yourself, am I doing things right?
Yeah, that's why I started raising my prices. The first year I did $90 a face card because that was low on the market, but I wanted to get into the market. Then I went to 100 and then 110, and now I do 120. And I probably could go a little higher because my customers don't care. I've had a lot of my customers tell me, no matter what you charge, I will buy wood from you because you have good wood. I like it. I know it burns. I know it's dry. My chimney guy that cleans my chimney says, keep buying the wood from that guy. I hear that a lot from my customers, so that's a good thing.
Yep.
But yeah, when you run out of wood and you can't supply the market, then it's probably time to raise your prices.
Yep. Yeah, so, we raised our price a little bit last year.
Yeah.
And it took a little bit for it to take hold, and looking back,
no big deal.
No big deal.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, people are afraid to charge what it's worth, and for the amount of work that goes into firewood, it really should cost more than what we all charge.
Correct.
There's a lot of work involved in it.
A lot of work.
Compared to what some products are for the little amount of work they got to do in it.
Correct.
I know my son works in software, and for the amount of work they do, they do a lot of work, but the profit margins are unbelievable. I mean, because they don't have any physical product, it's software.
Right.
And they're talking like 800-900% profit.
Yep.
Which is insane when you think about it. And that's what they get. That's why there's so much money in all that software stuff. That's why Microsoft is as big as they are, and all the other companies, because they're selling what's in the mind.
Yep.
It's not like they're actually doing physical manual work or producing a product. It's kind of like being insurance.
Yeah.
What do they sell?
Yeah. Exactly.
Peace of mind, security.
Right, security.
But there's not, you don't get anything, but that's what it is. Well, very interesting. So there you go. You got to see a little bit of your job, and like you're saying, this is a very specialty job because there's very few people that can do this, because loggers don't want this because it's a lot of work that they normally don't do, because you're taking stumps out, you're chipping, grinding,
right.
And tree service guys can't do this because it's just too much. So you got to have big equipment like logging equipment, but yet it's not a logging job, but yet you're producing some logs. So it's something that there's not many guys can do, and you're kind of really fit into a real specific niche here that you can do this.
Right. Yeah, and there's not a lot of guys that I know that are willing to take this on without saying, I need to go buy this piece of equipment or rent this piece of equipment. Because we took roughly about 75, 80 cords of wood out of here so far.
Yeah.
Probably another 25, 30 to go.
So close to 100.
And then we'll have 15 chips. We'll have 15 trailers of chips coming out of here. So at the end of it, it's a lot of material.
Right.
And you got to have a spot to go with it.
Right, right. Because you got places for everything to go, and you got the machinery to do it. And yeah, this is a specialty job, and you work with a lot of the same people getting you these jobs, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So that's a good thing. So they know what you do. They know you're the guy.
Yeah.
And it's good. It's good to be the guy, isn't it?
Yes, it is. It is. It's where you don't have to bid against 5 other guys to figure out what's going on.
Right, and they know what you're going to charge. Basically, they know you're going to be fair, but yet you got to charge what you got to do to get the job, and then there's extra things you can do that are good too. So yeah, very neat to see a specialty job like this. So tomorrow when you come back at 5:30 a.m., he's going to be running some machines. Trees are going to go down. Wood's going to move. So come on back tomorrow morning, 5:30 a.m. Good night, Irene.